Hey guys, so a few of you might have seen my stream where I made a Cobra Kai Part 3 tier list, and this video is basically just going to be me talking about those placements and why I put them there. Keep in mind, I haven't rewatched the show yet, so there will probably be another version of this tier list in the future. Anyways, let's get started. Starting off with the lowest tier, we have B tier. Here we have Kenny, Hawk, Yoon, and Kwon. Kenny and Hawk are interchangeable, but I'm gonna put Hawk here purely because he does the most against Yoon, even though that's probably his best feat. He also scraps with Robbie in a 2-second shot and scraps with Miguel for another 2-second shot. Ahead of Hawk is Yoon. Yoon's here because of his performance against Hawk and that he needed to be jumped to win. And I swear, if any of you mentioned that Vlad guy, Vlad got beat in a fight where everybody was getting jumped anyways. So literally every matchup in that brawl had outside help. So using him as a way to scale Hawk or Yoon is a null argument. Either way, Yoon also learns a technique that, while incomplete, we see Kim eliminates Master Kim with it. And then on top of this tier is Kwon. Even though Yoon learns a new technique, I don't think he would beat Kwon purely because of it. Yoon's only experience with Kwon, he got beat up really badly, so I don't think one technique that he learned on a stationary target will save him, because unlike the silver bullet, we never saw it in action. Anyways, moving on to the next tier, we have A-, and then here is Zara and Sam. Zara is above Kwon and everyone else due to the fact that I'm not sexist, and also because there was a creator statement stating Axel and Zara potentially being in the same tier. Now, that does not mean they're equal, that just means potentially they're in the same tier in part 2. That's kind of all Zara has though, because Sam is able to fight relative to Tori, who no-diffed Zara at her peak. I was debating putting Sam a tier above Zara too, but since I don't think Sam at her peak scales to Tori due to a lack of feats other than this one training sequence, and also because I don't know if she improves after this, I'm going to leave Sam at the top of A- tier, right above Zara. Now in A tier are the heavy hitters. At the bottom we have Tori. Tori was able to no-diff Zara at her peak, so this would explain her placement a tier above Zara. She does not beat Axel, however, who shows that he is miles better than his part 2 self. The reason I didn't put Zara in the same tier as Axel is just because she doesn't show improvement. Despite the creator statement, Zara was already shown to be cooked by Tori, which she did get cooked in the previous part's finale anyways. Axel, however, is shown at his peak second stance to be way above his part 2 self, cooking a Robbie who was already cooking up his part 2 self, which is why I left Tori below Axel. Now, controversially, above both of them, I have Robbie. Robbie and Axel are interchangeable, but at their peaks, they went 5-5 relative, and Robbie showed a confident smirk, implying that in round 3, he would once again jump up in power. Using the entire fight is kind of a null argument, and let me explain. Robbie wasn't at his best in the first round, but in round 2, he is miles better than his round 1 self. Through Robbie's natural fight pattern, he would be stronger in round 3 than 2, but round 3 never ended, however, and if you use the "oh, but that move is legal in a street fight" argument, Robbie has no reason to think that his leg is going to be twisted and broken when he's in a tournament fight in which he is worried about scoring, which is why the third round cheat and the third round in general is kind of null for scaling. But through implications of them being dead even in round 2 and Robbie's natural fight pattern, I think he would barely edge out Axel, but like I said, they're interchangeable, and if you have a reason for why Axel should be above Robbie, leave it in the comments. Now in A+ tier, I have Miguel. I don't think I need to explain this one very much. Miguel at his best absolutely cooked Axel, making up a 10-point deficit and going beyond 10 points. So he just gaps Axel and subsequently would beat Robbie and everyone below. Now in S tier is all the senseis. I'll rapid fire through the easy ones. Kreese is below Silver due to literally losing the fight and had to eliminate both of them. Kim Da-eun is here because in part 2, Tori states that she's the best she's ever seen, with nothing to disprove the statement. This would put her above Terry and Kreese because they don't upscale their part 2 versions, whereas she learns a technique that has elimination capabilities. Above her are Daniel and Chosen. Chosen is already above Kim Da-eun by the end of part 2 due to him beating up Sensei Ivanov, who Kim couldn't even beat the weaker lady. Chosen beats Daniel purely because I believe he does do better in their training against Johnny, where Daniel was getting pressed a little bit, but then again Johnny was in a really weird headspace, but they are very contagious, so take that with a grain of salt. I wouldn't really argue with you if you put Danny above Chosen, but you know what, let's move on. Now the top 2 in this part, Wolf and Johnny. For most of the fight, it's clear that Johnny was not at his peak, hence losing 2 pretty easy points, and getting cheap shot multiple times. But despite this drastic disadvantage, after he regains his form back and is confident again, he wipes the floor with Wolf. So peak Johnny is the strongest in part 3. And no, before you say, oh, Sensei Wolf was playing for most of the fight, in the finale, he literally used the Shaolin Sunset and still could not beat Johnny. So if his best technique could not beat Johnny, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he can't win. Anyways, in conclusion, this is the tier list. Thank you so much for those of you who tuned into the stream. I had a lot of fun. And remember to eat your greens, stay healthy. Add me on Discord if you want to debate this. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.